Yeah, Zach!
Awesome job.
How did that
Did you ladies have fun with Bert?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we got to get him fired up for Javelina now.
Yeah, I heard that. I was tuned in at that point.
Someone get the man a chair.
I think
Hey, Zach, let's talk about you, not Bert. We want to know about you. How you feeling? How's your body? What was going through your head those last few miles?
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good by the end. I would say the biggest hurdle I had during the day was I drastically underestimated how much fluid I was going to lose.
Okay.
I was probably going through like 3 20-ounce bottles for a while there to get caught up. I got a little behind, I think, the first couple hours, and then I could tell because I was starting to get like a tight stomach. So then I would just did a lot of electrolytes and a lot of water, and then kind of got it rolling again there. But there's a few spots in there where like physically you feel fine, but like mentally you just want to get off that machine so badly. And I think around mile 87 or so, I just had to take a break. I just like sat down for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that and ate a few potato chips and drank some SFuel Race Plus and was like, all right, now let's get going again. So it's just weird. It's like a different mental.
Nicole, you're fired as the camera person.
Sorry, I know.
I
I
can
didn't
hold it.
realize it. I've exhausted my effort.
Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Zach,
Yeah.
Wow,
so much
Zach, you're
fun.
amazing. Amazing.
Zach, we're so proud of you. You just inspired people all day long today. It was so great to bring the community together and watch you yet again just wow us. It's just incredible the things that you do again and again and again. And you're smiling and you're asking about us. Like, what in the
Because I
world?
finally get to step off that thing.
Right? Right?
It's a beautiful machine, but 12 hours of anything is a lot.
Oh, man, Zach, we were all curious about how much training you had actually put on the treadmill. So when you went past like the 4-5 hour mark, what was going through your head? Because that's the longest you've ever been, right? With 3 hours?
Yeah, I did a 30 miler on the treadmill was the longest I'd gone. So I probably felt a little rough around 4 to 5 hours, but at 5 hours is when I start kind of taking in a little bit of caffeine. So then usually I'm kind of starting to fade a bit there, and then I'll take a little bit of caffeine and get a little push. And the hope is that gets me to like 60 miles or so, and I can start kind of wrapping my head around what's left. And it worked all right today, I think. Fueling went really well. But yeah, the biggest mistake I made was just not recognizing how much fluid I was going to need, and I had to play catch up for a good chunk of that first half, and that made it tough. But it's hard to know. Like we had the thermostat set to 60, and I've got a portable air conditioner in here. But like, so my thought was when I did the race at the Pettit Center last August, it was 60 degrees in there, and I was probably drinking maybe 25 to 30 ounces an hour or so, and I was probably hitting almost 60 ounces on some of those hours here. So it was just drastically different.
And I mean, it was a lot warmer than you think because that says 60, but the house says 75.
Right. Yeah. So
I'm guessing it's closer to like the 70 range because it just doesn't feel much cooler than 70 in here right now.
Yeah. No, I don't doubt it. I was sweating pretty good there. So.
Yeah. It's just
And Zach, this is basically your first attempt at the world record at 100 miles, but also just like you don't do this often. You're not regularly running on the treadmill. So it's pretty amazing what you just did. Because a lot of people will attempt stuff like this and they're like, oh, this is painful. No, thanks. And you just did it in one shot. I mean, that's crazy. You know, Dean Karnazes was on earlier. He was talking about a 48-hour treadmill attempt.
Oof.
While you're running today, were you thinking, yes, that's the next record I want to set?
No, that one. Dean can have that one. I can put him in touch with Nordic Track if he wants, but he can have that. Yeah, no, it was kind of funny because like I guess when Nicole and I first decided to kind of set this up, I think it was probably mid-March maybe, because at that point it was clear that my race I had been training for in London was going to be canceled, and thankfully it was a 400-meter track timed event or 100-miler, so my training wasn't too drastically different from a mechanic standpoint than the treadmill, but yeah, I mean, it's just a different, I had a feeling it was going to be some challenges mentally just to want to stay on that. The biggest time, or the most time I spent on the treadmill leading in was I did a 22 and a 21 miler on a Saturday, Sunday. And I remember the 21 miler, I got to 10 miles and I was running like maybe 8 to 8.5 miles per hour. And I was like, I'm so sick of it being on this treadmill now. So I ended up doing a tempo run the last 10 miles just to change pace. And I talked to Dr. Jeff Burns actually like a couple of weeks ago before this, and he was telling me that that's the move, is to like fluctuate your paces, because like you just need something to look forward to that lets you kind of control the machine versus the machine controlling you. Because it's like this kind of weird psychological thing where as the belt moves, it's nice because you don't have to like try to dial in the pace mentally. But the hard part, I think, is it's like being told what to do versus doing what you want to do. So it makes it kind of a challenge from that.
Zach, did you like choose not to have a TV or to watch something like, crank out some movies or a series or something other than the wall?
I mean, I think part of the reason I brought all you rock stars in is so I'd have some entertainment.
Sorry.
I probably spent at least half the time, probably more like, I bet I was about 7 hours or so, I was tuned into the YouTube on my phone. So I had Bluetooth on that. And then from there, I kind of went back and forth with that and with music. So that was kind of a nice contrast where like you get a nice little bump, like a little adrenaline bump from the music, I think. And then eventually that wears off, and then you're interested in just hearing what everyone's saying. So then you tune back in, and long story short, I think I've got about 5 hours to watch yet, because I missed 5 of them when I was listening to music.
Zach, what were
You got some quality stuff coming when we came on.
Yeah, I've got a good use for my recovery time.
Zach, what was the song that you finished your record with? What was the last song?
What song?
Uh-huh.
It's what's that Ozzy Osbourne one, the new one? I can't remember the name of it. He did does anyone know?
I don't think so.
I'm too old to remember the names of the new songs. Was whatever his new one was, he did it with he did like a combo song with some hip hop artist. I can't remember who it is, but that one was
Clearly it's popular with this group. I've been listening all the time to it.
Keep chatting. We got CVS coming in a second, so keep chatting.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it was what I was kind of doing there at the end was going like trying to like really break it down to like the mile or 2 miles at the most, and I would like start the mile at about 8 miles per hour and then try to inch my way up to like 8.7, 8.8, and then as I'd get closer and closer, I started kind of shifting that window over a little bit so I could get up to a little faster. But that kind of helped quite a bit to make it pass, where like every like 0.15 miles, I would just like click up 0.1 miles per hour. And then I would just be like, okay, tune out for like a few seconds and then wait for it to get up to another increment of 0.15 and then click it up again. And that helped, I think, quite a bit in the probably 75 to 100 mile range. That was doing a lot of that.
Yeah, that makes it like a game almost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What were the
You kind
fastest?
of have to do that, I think. I don't know. I would love to see. I need to talk to Dave Proctor more about what his pacing strategy was. Like when he did it, if he just dialed in as consistent effort or if he was going back and forth, because I don't know how you would do that, to be honest. Like if someone wants to go out there and break my record and do it just set it to one pace and just hang there all day, I think that'd be fascinating to see. I don't know that like I could do it that way. I think I'd have to switch paces throughout the course.
Hey, was it Ordinary Man with Elton John? Was that the Ozzy Osbourne song?
No, I was just an entertainer. That's what I said. An entertainer. Or Billy Joel. Oh, is that what you were saying?
Yeah. No, you said you were listening to Ozzy Osbourne's song, but there's he did a song called "Ordinary Man" with Elton John, and I didn't know if that's the song you're listening
I
to.
don't think that was the one. It's funny because when I was on the treadmill, one of the long runs a couple weeks ago, I just like turned on like top 100 hits or something on Amazon Music and was just flipping through to see if anything sounded like it'd be good running music, and that one caught my eye, so I just saved it and downloaded it.
Nice.
And I should probably learn what it's called now, I guess.
What
Well,
was
listen, go ahead.
I was just going to ask what the fastest and slowest paces that you put it down to and put it up to over the course of the day.
Yeah, I did one like 6:18 mile early on, like a 9.5 miles per hour, and that was the fastest.
Okay.
And then I think I
And
ended
Zach,
at
what's
like
that in kilometers an hour?
is that like maybe
math? No.
4?
He can. He actually probably can.
I think it'd be around 4:30.
Oh, we
I don't know,
needed you this whole time.
Yeah, Lucy was asking us about conversion, and I was like,
Yeah,
Well,
so
there's
that, I
many
think that was the
people
fastest
following.
one.
no, it's
Yeah.
good. It's a skill set everyone should have that I feel like I
Maths.
I could be way off. There could be some real math nerds out there just shaking their finger at me.
That was amazing, Zach. What's gonna be your meal tonight?
Steak probably. Nothing liquid.
Yeah.
I think I did all liquid calories today other than one baggie of potato chips.
it feels fun.
Yeah, I did, well, at 87 miles when I was just mentally defeated, I like sat down in the bathroom just to eat those potato chips. That's what I was doing in there.
I had no idea. I'm sorry
was like-
that I left you at such a low place. If only I would known.
No, I needed it. I needed it. I needed to just take a break from the treadmill and let my mind reset. And it's amazing. It's a couple minutes and you feel like, okay, now I can get back on this again and just focus. But that really small break from it, I think gives you a sense of control back, I guess. So,
So how many
that helped a
calories
lot.
were in the bottle?
So I had about 2 packs of SFuels Race Plus, which I think is about 110 or about 100 calories per pack. And I was going through, did I finish all of those?
Mhm.
Did I? So and then I did about 10 bottles of that. So I guess that'd be about 2,000 calories of the Race Plus, and then whatever that potato chips were. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Not a lot.
no,
Not a lot.
I'm usually around 40 grams an hour or so. I think I was probably pretty close to that, maybe a little under today, but yeah, it was. I was watching my heart rate pretty close, and I think I was right around like kind of around 140 to 145 most of the day. And at that heart rate for me, I'm probably burning like well over 80% fat based on the last metabolic test I got. So, so like I don't need too many carbs during a race to keep that heart rate. If I would have been flirting up into the 150s, 155s and getting up to like aerobic threshold type pacing, then I probably would have had to try to get up a little higher than that. But I wasn't going quite that fast. So well, 1 mile I was. I
You're
guess.
going plenty fast. Okay.
No, you were
That's
steady
awesome.
all day. I mean, you just had a really positive attitude too, which.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was, there's a lot of reasons to stay on. I honestly don't know if I would have finished that if it weren't for like everyone coming in and, telling their stories and talking. And then obviously Justin Rand's fight for the regatta. And I had that pass to my mind a few times. And I was like, do I got 45 miles left in me? I was like, I'm going to get to 12 hours one way or the other. I knew that much. So it was good to have those kind of exterior like motivators that are bigger than just you sometimes. So
yeah, you could tell you were really motivated when we were telling you about the money that was raised. And there was I don't know if you all heard, but there was I don't know how much money was raised, but there was somebody that was going to donate up to $10,000 to match everyone. So that's it's such a good cause. So I think that was a really big motivator for you when we found that out.
yeah, no, that helped to hear that there was donations coming in for that.
And people can still donate, right?
Yeah, I think they'll leave the donation thing up for a while after, I think, because I'll do a few interviews and hopefully, get a good plug in for them on those. And it'll I think there's the link is in the YouTube channel for anyone listening now who wants to go over and throw $1 in or whatever you can. I'll quick give a plug. If you were here all day, you probably heard it 100 times, but Fight for the Forgotten is a charity that was started by a guy named Justin Wren, who decided he wanted to find the most forgotten people on the planet. And he identified the Pygmy tribe in the Congo as that. And he went over there and started helping build wells for them so they'd have clean drinking water. And eventually got to where they're building wells and they're building regenerative farms over there as well. In the process, he's gotten malaria, I think 3 or 4 times. And the last time he went and came back, he had a parasite that they had never seen before. So like his doctor was saying, like, well, chances are like folks over there are like ravaged with this parasite. I have just no clue because they're not getting looked at. But Justin was the first like documented case of that. So he's certainly put his body through the ringer for that cause, and he's now launching another branch. He's partnering to launch another branch where they're developing curriculum for schools to combat bullying. So he's really, I think the guy's got a lot of drive for the right thing. So if I can run a few miles and get his charity a couple dollars, I think it's probably worth it. So
A few miles.
Absolutely incredible, Zach. That was so cool to witness.
Totally.
Thanks again for coming and taking your time. It was humbling to see how many people were willing to come on and share their stories and just chat.
It's really tough,
Yeah, but I mean, it's I think it's cool. Like, I think it kind of highlights the ultra running community where, we get behind each other. And we probably had about 30 people come in today, and hopefully a lot of people got some motivation. And I think a couple hundred people joined in and ran for a while or biked and did some indoor stuff. So it was cool to see that.
And everyone showed up, like every guest. No one missed a time. Like everyone was here the whole time. It was amazing.
Zach, we might
that's
need you
awesome.
to dial into a new Zoom link to CBS.
Okay, just a heads up, this iPad's battery's gonna die pretty quick.
So I can plug it in.
Okay, we can do that out here.
There's
That's okay.
there's a plug right there up on the machine that I was using that we can probably plug into this.
Let's just say thank you.
Yeah.
So, and then, thank you all so much. That was
Thanks so
Yeah,
much for
thank
spending
you.
time with us.
Zach.
Nice work, Zach.
Congratulations, Zach. It was so awesome. Eat well.
Yeah, go have
Thank you.
that steak.
Have that burger, whatever you want.
Okay.
All right. Bye, friends. Love you guys.